Good morning, Bernie and Donna, B&D, and Anna Lee, and Sam. We're headed to the mountains today. Thought we'd take you along with us and show you some really beautiful scenery. We'll get back to you along the way. Hi guys, Bernie Albertson here again, B&D and Anna Lee. When we made the 5 things that you should know before you purchase an RV, or things that we suggested to you, I told you at that time we had just returned from a day trip from Globe, Arizona. That particular trip was beautiful, and one of the things that you have available to you, I'll put it that way, as full-time RVers, or as I call gypsies, is that you can go and come as you please. You don't have to worry about cutting grass or getting back to turn the lights on or off, or worry about your water bill or anything else. You just simply close your unit up if you've got slides, and get your lunches ready or whatever it is that you want to do, and or your wife or whomever can make it while you're traveling. And that's the beauty of being a full-time RVer. You plop yourself behind the steering wheel, turn the key on, fire that big engine up, and drive away. That's the thing that has kept us going for these 12 years. Now, we don't always go. We're not always on the road. As you can see, we've been in Mesa, Arizona for several months. It's beautiful here. There's much to see. Yes, it gets hot in the summer, but yes, we have air conditioning. So we found that the air is clean out here, the people are nice, and we're getting ready to head out and go other places. But I want to tell you about this day trip that we took to Globe, Arizona. Now, Globe is a little bit northeast of Phoenix. It's northeast of Mesa. What you're seeing now is where we've gone through town, and we're getting closer to the mountains. We've just gone through a small town, and we begin to climb. We found that this Ford Triton V10 engine does a very good job. It rarely comes out of overdrive, but when it does, why, it still does a good job. Now, as I've said before, we travel 50 and 55 miles an hour. If people want to go around us, that's just fine. But when the wind's blowing, as it was the day that we went to Globe, I even slowed it down to 50 in some places. When you're in the mountains and you're going up and down a hill on a gas engine and a diesel engine, if you click the gear shift knob with a little button on the end, you've got a motor brake, you've got an engine brake. And so when we started down the hills, I would just simply click that or click that knob, and we'd slow down, and then you click it again or push the resume, and you're back up to 50 miles an hour. What you're seeing now is mountainous country, and I think you'll have to agree with me that it is absolutely beautiful. Now, they're doing some road work on this particular road, and this is Highway 60, and you can see the ruggedness of the country. Also, occasionally you'll see where they have side-by-side trails, what I call side-by-side trails. They're a gas-powered unit that 4 wheels, and they're made for desert driving or whatever kind of driving you want to do in the woods or the desert or the mountains or the snow. That's particularly up to you. But as you can see here, we're coming into a tunnel, and they had these cones or guards set rather close, and as I was going through this tunnel, we had maybe 6 inches on either side, so you kind of have to pay attention to what's going on. Also, I went into this tunnel with my sunglasses on. Now I have to tell you, when you do that and you're coming out of the bright sunshine into something like that, it doesn't take you long to get them off and turn the headlights on. But as we continue on here, Globe is about, what honey, 60 miles from Mesa? Yeah, about that. Globe's about 60 miles from Mesa, and the way we do it, it took us, I don't know, an hour and a half to get there, maybe 2 hours. But we stopped. We stopped and got a soft drink and did this and that, and let Samantha out to go potty and things. But I wanted you to see the country. I wanted you to see just how beautiful it is here. And there's other states in this nation, like 50 of them or more, that have their own incredible beauty. And when you are in warm weather in the winter, you tour and see things like this. When you're in cool states in the summer, you tour and see things like this. Now, if you have a large RV, chances are you're pulling some kind of transportation, a car, truck, whatever. Our RV is 25 foot long, and it's just not that much bigger than a car. And so at anywhere from 9 to 11 miles a gallon, and this particular trip we got about 8 because we were up and down through the mountains. But you can parallel park it. You park it on a grocery store parking lot. Whatever we have to do, any errands we have to run, to go to the bank or this or that, we just drive the RV. Now when you have a Class C like we have, it takes maybe 5 minutes to get your slide out in or your slide outs in. They all come in at once, chances are. And you unhook your sewage and your electricity and your water. And when we leave and we know we're coming back, we leave our sewage line on the ground, because when we drain it before we leave, we flush it out. And that's another thing. When you flush your sewage line out, now I should be telling you about the scenery, but we're up about, I don't know, 1,000 or 1,200 feet here. But when you flush your sewage line out, the thing to do there is to pull the lever and your black water will run out. And then what we do is flush the toilet 3 times, fill it full, completely full of water, and flush it 3 times, and that flushes that hose out. Now when you're parked, you want to leave your gray water open, because that keeps the hose flushed out. And you use a lot of gray water. Your gray water is your shower water and your dish water. Your black water, of course, is your toilet water and your hand sink water in the bathroom. At least ours is. So that's how we do it. We just leave the hoses there, and we know that when we come back we're going to hook up, and that'll take another 5 minutes to hook things up and to run your slide out and get things squared away. When we leave, we have a rather large television that we have on a wooden shelf that I have across above the driver and passenger seat, and we use a bungee cord to keep the base of the TV snug against the plank, against the board. And then I use a string and secure the back of the TV or the upper part of the TV to a bracket, and you can drive across country with it. It's going to stay right where it is. As you know, I'm a writer, and so we have a rather large printer on that shelf, and I used 90-degree angles screwed into the bottom of the shelf, and my wife knitted some sleeves for them. And the printer then rests up against that, and it stays put. So there's just a lot of things you can do. You should be seeing some really beautiful scenery here. And in a couple of minutes, why, we're going to be to Globe, and when we go up there, we always stop in at Wendy's and get a sandwich and a Coke. And that's another thing about Wendy's, as you know, I'm sure. They have senior Cokes. And Donna, are those free?
They are free.
The senior Cokes are free. And so we get a hamburger or whatever, and a senior Coke, and eat. And then if we're traveling, we try to stop at Wendy's and do the same thing, and then proceed on. As you can tell, guys, this is gold mining country up here, and we're about to wind this thing up. I hope you've enjoyed the ride, and we've enjoyed bringing it to you. God bless. Have a great time, and I'm going to let this thing run out here, and we'll see you again another time.